Hi, welcome to this edition of Raw. In today's edition, we're just going to waterproof our Y connectors and also the connector for the area in here, which is basically where your receiver is, because I changed my receiver over to a new one because I wanted to change the transmitter and everything. Now I don't know if that's waterproof, so we're going to do that now. And all we're using is basically this, which is a silicone sealant. I'm using clear. You can use whatever colour you want to use. And basically we're just doing thin layers around the areas, okay? So first of all, we'll get things stuck from being stuck together. Let's take that out of there. Right, okay. Is to go around your area of the actual receiver box itself. So all I'm going to do is put a bit on my finger. As you probably can see, I've already started some of it, so some of it's actually got some on. But all you do is where the actual area is here, which is the joins, is you want a thin layer. Just put it on your finger, rub it all the way around the areas, making sure you've got enough on, but not too much, because you want to go into this area probably again at some other point. So again, you just put another thin layer around these areas. There's an area which I covered beforehand. I've put some already in it. Now this is where I drilled it, so I could put extra wires into the actual receiver itself. And also we're going to start doing things like connectors. Right, this is obviously a normal Y connector, but I doubly want making sure it's waterproof. Now this one leads up to my winch, so I'm making sure the ends have all got silicone on. There's no water going up inside it, and then a small layer around the connecting part to make sure that's waterproof. Then again, we'll be doing it with this part, which is obviously my battery connector, which is now connecting to a LiPo. So this area here, again, just a smidgen on. You don't need too much, but enough. Rub down your joins, around your joins, everywhere you can think water will go into. Inside this area here where the wires come out of, because it leaves a hole where it goes into the blocks, and make sure it's rubbed right into it. Okay, and we're going to go around all the actual wires themselves. I'm not going to bother with the casings and so forth really, because the casings themselves, according to Charisma, is properly waterproofed. So the only other place I will do is my connector on my winch, which is here, my winch connector. So I'll put some more on my finger, rub along. Now there is a hole at the front now, I'm not 100% sure what that's for, but I think it's for extra wires. So I'm going to seal that over, and again give it a nice coating right the way around, and the area the wires come out of at the back. Give it enough on there. Okay, I'm going to take the gloves off the next part because I don't want to get it on the body of your car, which is this bit here, which is my wires, which is going to go from my main spotlights at the top into this area down here, which has got a few more connectors. So just before I connect it in and put my cylinder around, just make sure I'm in right. I am in right, first time lucky. Then again, same again, just find out where obviously you put the wires into. We're a nice, oops, sorry I've dropped it. As you can see, we're live, so that's probably what that is for. Right, okay then, and again, the back end along here where the connector went into, and along here, and see these bits here where your wires go into, another bit along there, because I don't want water particularly going into them areas. So I'm getting a nice little area, rub around just to make sure it's got a decent coating on it. And that's basically it. Now, like I said, the main thing was the receiver box. That was covered to make sure it was waterproof. And the next session will be in a couple of days' time when we take it out and test it and make sure it's waterproof. Okay then, thank you very much for another edition of Raw. Oh, before you go, one other thing I do, but you don't necessarily have to do it, because I don't know if you do need to do it, is I seal my batteries. Now I seal every opening the wires come out of. I run my finger down the creases and the connection areas, and round every other bit that I think water will go into. Now, LiPos are funny batteries, they can explode. So I must admit, and I must stress to you, it's entirely up to you whether or not you do what I do here. As I've never done before, I have had tips and I've seen it done previously to this. The way it's sealed, but LiPos are really funny batteries, they can explode. So be very careful, and it's on your own back whether or not you do what I've done. You don't necessarily have to do that. I just want to make double check that it's all sealed, and that's my personal preference. Okay, thank you very much for another edition of Raw, and we'll get back to you later on when we go out with the car, and we'll see if we definitely waterproof those areas to make sure that it's all going nicely. And just take care with yourself. Okay, thank you very much.